Welcome to the Woodpreneur Podcast, the best podcast for the business and marketing side of the sawmill, lumber, and wood industry. What's a woodpreneur? If you have a business where you make money as a woodworker, sawmill owner, selling slabs, or a content creator, then you're a woodpreneur. My name's Steve Larosiliere, and I started Woodpreneur Life, Acres of Timber, and the Woodpreneur Podcast just for makers, wood entrepreneurs, and small business owners just like you. We're on a mission to empower thousands of wood businesses to grow sustainably and put out great products. Each week, I interview makers, sawyers, content creators, and 6- and 7-figure entrepreneurs that know the wood industry inside and out. With topics covering everything from the urban lumber movement, sustainable sourcing and design, we'll discuss the ins and outs of how to grow, monetize, and fully immerse yourself in the woodpreneur lifestyle. If you're a hobbyist, a full-time wood business owner, part-time entrepreneur who wants to become a content creator, or quit your day job to pursue your dreams, the Woodpreneur Podcast is just for you. Thanks so much for listening. Now enjoy this episode. Hi, welcome to a brand new episode of the Woodpreneur Podcast. This is your host, Steve Larosiliere. Today's guest is Elvin Hurst from Kountry Kraft. How you doing, Elvin?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on. Hey, could you tell us a bit about Kountry Kraft? How did it get started?
Well, it started as a hobby.
Yeah.
My wife, Helen, bought me a table saw for Christmas in 1958. And
Wow.
in the spring of April 1959, I started making cabinets in the garage where I'm sitting right now in the
Wow.
conference room. This used to be a 4-car garage and on the
Wow.
farm. So this is where I started. My background is farming. I'm a farmer. And on the farm, I learned everything I know from my parents, learning how to work and how to fix things when you break and how to build things. And I love woodwork. And so I started building some cabinets. And my father, Reuben Hurst, was an electrical contractor. And he had several contractors he was working for, and he introduced me to them, and he sold my first kitchen in 1959 to my uncle George Weaver in New Holland, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And then he sold
Wow.
my second kitchens in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. And then
Yeah.
the third kitchen he sold in Lititz, Pennsylvania. So that's what got me
Wow.
started. My dad was my first salesman. My wife, Helen, she got me the saw, and she was my partner in business and my bookkeeper and my designer. So she run the office, and I worked in the shop, and I did manufacture the cabinets and delivered them and installed them. So
Wow.
started very small.
Started very small. Where are you today? How big is the company?
Today we build 11 additions. First, very small additions, and every couple of years I expanded a little bigger and got a couple more customers, a couple more employees, and today, 65 years later, this is our 65th anniversary. We now
Congratulations.
we now have about 80,000 square feet of factory and
Wow.
around 100 employees.
Wow.
And we have,
Wow. Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. And we have a dealer network that's from Maine to Florida. We have
Hmm.
about 45 dealers that sell our cabinets. Plus, we sell locally to contractors, and we also sell retail to individuals that walk in the door in our own neighborhood here. We have our
Yeah.
own installers, so we can do everything from design to building to delivering and installing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, what at what point did you take the business seriously? At what point where you were like, you know what, this is it. I'm going all in, because I'm sure those first couple of years were probably you were trying to figure out if this was the life path,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And
If it's really a business, my wife said
if
it.
it's
My wife did say though that word. She said, after about 2 years, he said, "I guess we're in business. This is what you call business."
Yeah.
First,
Yeah.
it was a hobby and did it very small, very slow, and we're still running a farm. We had a farm with cattle, and so this was sort of a side job at first.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that first major milestone in the business? That first do you remember what it was? Like that first major milestone? Was it like, certain employees, or whether it's a contract, or whether it's a bigger space? What was that first major milestone?
Oh, I don't know. It started so gradually. The first major milestone, I guess, would have been when I started expanding, added to the factory, put a bigger building on, and hired more people, and got recognized as a kitchen company. We established our name, Kountry Kraft Kitchens, spelt with a K.
Mm-hmm.
We started the name by country because we're in the country. We're on a farm
Yeah. Yeah.
in in Pennsylvania here.
Yeah. 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 What did you bootstrap it yourself, or did you get loans or investors? How'd you grow?
That's a good question. Yeah, I was blessed to have wonderful parents. I grew up on the farm. I was taught how to work, and I had good support. This is a home farm here where the factory is now. So it was
Gotcha.
my parents' farm. And my dad had a sign for my first loan. My first loan was $12,000. And
Yeah.
the bank wouldn't give me no money because I had no equity.
Yeah.
So they had to get a co-signer, which was my father and my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that first major investment? What did you use that 12,000 for?
I used it to buy more equipment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
equipment and material to build cabinets.
For
So
sure.
yeah,
What when you're manufacturing a lot of kitchens and cabinetry, and there's a lot of manufacturing processes, are you a process driven person, or are you more of like the visionary person, and did you have to like bring on a process driven person to help build out like the infrastructure of the business?
I did start out with one employee that was a finishing man that did the painting.
Mm-hmm.
I did build the cabinets, and
Okay.
my father sold the first three kitchens. I sort of took over the sales, and I did
Yeah.
my own measuring, go out in the home and measure the room and design the kitchen. And so I was a hands-on builder. I built the cabinet from A to Z. I did the cutting and the assembling and the finishing. Well, I had a partner that helped do the finishing, an employee. And then I had do the hardware, and I had to do the delivery and install. So I was
You were hands on.
hands
Yeah.
on in the factory, and my wife took care of the bookkeeping and run took care of the office and the customers in the showroom. Help.
For sure.
Yep.
What what was your what was what was the first major, like the critical addition to the business that really took it to another level?
Well, I'd say in 1974,
Mm-hmm.
when I built the big main factory that we're in today, which is all connected to it's all one building with
Yeah.
parts connected. But that was an addition I built was 90 feet wide by 200 feet long. And
Yeah.
then I reversed my whole company from manufacturing where I'm sitting now and turned everything around and brought the lumber in from the north end and shipped in the south end and turned the old factory here where I'm sitting. This is now the conference room, and I built offices. So We converted the old shop into offices, and
Yeah.
we hired some more. That's also when we hired sales reps and started setting up dealers. Instead of
Yeah.
just selling local, we start selling through dealers, which
Mm-hmm.
were in surrounding states like New Jersey, New York,
Yeah.
Maryland, Delaware, and then we spread out into the New England states in the late 70s. We
Yeah.
hired a rep that lives in New York State and developed that market. So that was a big step.
Yeah.
74.
74. And what made you came up with the dealer strategy to grow?
Well, there's only so much you can do on the local level if you want to grow. So we had to get more salespeople involved and some new designs, stay up with the modern designs, and you had to spread out through a dealer network.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you evaluate the dealers?
Well, a dealer got to be somebody that has a showroom,
Mm-hmm.
willing to invest and to put a display in their display cabinets and some sample doors, and they got to have the ability to go sell and design and
Yeah.
draw up the kitchens and send the drawings into us. So they send the
Yeah.
drawings to us, and then we manufacture and then deliver back to them, and they do their own installations.
That's awesome. What how did you I mean, wow, I don't really get the chance to talk to somebody that's been in business for this long. how did how did you weather I'm thinking about, like, there was the oil stuff in the 70s, there was, you know 80s, right? Savings and loans, there was, all these things that happened in the world, and you're still here. Like, what, how is that?
I know it was an up and down. It was a challenge.
Yeah.
One thing I was really blessed with, I had a solid Christian foundation with my
Hmm.
parents. I knew what's right and what's wrong. I knew how to
Yeah.
work, and I knew how to keep going when things get tough. You don't
Yeah.
give up. On the farm, you had to get up every morning and milk them cows at 5 o'clock in the morning because the milk truck's coming at 7. So I was
Hmm.
used to working no matter what the weather was or how you feel. You had to get up and go. So
Hmm.
in them rough years, I was really blessed with good parents that supported me and a brother that helped me out. And I had 4 wonderful children that helped me, and they now own the business. They took over the
Okay.
business. So they worked with me from little up since 19. We got married, my wife and I, in 1957. We were 19 in 1959, 65 years ago. We were both 21 years old when we started the kitchen business, and we grew very slow and gradual in the beginning. But as the children grew up, they took a hold. They were all there to help me. And when things got tough, we worked long hours. We worked early morning to late night, and we worked 6 days a week. Sunday,
Hmm.
took off to go to church and then to rest. And then Monday morning, we're ready to go again. But we went through the roughest time. The most
Yeah.
was 1980 when that
Hmm.
recession hit. You may be too young to remember that.
No, well, yeah, I was young when it happened, but I remember the recession for sure. Yeah.
1980. That's when interest went to 23%.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and business pretty well stopped. People weren't buying kitchens. So
Hmm. Hmm.
I just put up a big addition in 1974. So 1980, I was just starting to recover from that big expense when
Yeah.
things pretty well crashed in 1980. And
Wow.
But slowly, we kept loaning money as we were losing money to keep things going. We were down to
Mm-hmm.
14 employees in 1980.
Yeah.
But then 81, 82, 83, my brother came in to help me as an employee, and the business started picking up. I hired another sales manager, and
Mm-hmm.
in the middle 80s, things really started picking up.
Yeah.
So we kept going even though things got tough.
For sure. How did you differentiate your brand from other uh, kitchen cabinet manufacturers?
Well, we were fully custom, and our
Mm-hmm.
motto is complete kitchens on time, complete. So we
Mm-hmm.
pride ourselves in doing quality work, delivering it to you on time and at a fair price. And that's one thing we really stressed in our company to try to stay ahead and grow and be known in the industry for quality and for service.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we
Yeah.
that's where we set ourselves apart. That we really stress that our whole company, all our employees are trained for that. They're all
Yeah.
they all agree with our motto is to give a customer just what you would want. To use the golden rule: treat people the way you want to be
You
treated.
want to be treated.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
and that works for us.
Yeah. Did you how did you stay motivated? And I know it's growing up as a farmer, you have it baked into you, like you got to get up and
Yep.
work no matter what. But like, was there anything else aside from you said your Christian upbringing? Was there any sort of personal professional development that you did to keep the vision in front of you?
I kept myself informed in the industry by going to trade shows and
Mm-hmm.
developer shows and reading trade magazines to see what's current. And but I was always motivated. I enjoy working even today. Yet I come into the business just for the fun of it. I'm 85.
Yeah.
I'm 85 now, but I like to go to the post office at 8 o'clock in the morning and bring the mail in for my children and help here and there, whatever's to do. I even still take care of customers. I
Yeah.
recently set up a new dealer right here in our own hometown in Lebanon,
Wow.
which I still enjoy meeting customers and meeting employees. And I got Zach sitting next to me here, my tech guy that's got me set up here on this computer. So, like I say, I'm just blessed with good people, and I come here just because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm always motivated. I like getting up in the morning, and I thank God for my health and for the beautiful weather and living in the country, watching the crops grow, and
For sure.
yeah.
How did you so it's interesting. I always say that I read some statistic that the likelihood of passing on your business onto your children is like really low,
It is
and
very low.
it's very low. How did you and it's a dream of a lot of people in the wood industry. I want to build something and pass it on to my kids, and
Yeah.
nowadays kids, they're finding out their kids don't want to do what they did, right? And so how did you prep for the transition of your business to your children?
Well, they grew up in the business. They worked with me from little up since they're 5, 6, 7 years old. They played in the factory, and as soon
Hmm.
as they could work, they were helping me, and they just all enjoyed the business that we're in. I
Hmm.
never forced any of them to follow me. I didn't say, "Hey, you got to do the kitchen business," because I did it. But
Yeah.
they all choose to take over the business. So I was blessed with that they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So it was easy. I didn't have to force them.
You didn't have to force them.
No,
Yeah.
and they had a nice platform to start because the kitchen business was built. They,
Yep.
they took it over in 2003. which is now
Okay.
21 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Have you been retired since then?
no, I never retired. I still don't.
You never retired.
No, I don't. I never retired. I'm still an employee, senior employee of Kountry Kraft, and help out and do whatever's to do and
For sure.
look after the real estate. We still have the real estate to take care of, so
Yep. Yep.
it's a family. Our real estate now is in a family trust, so we
Sure.
all own that together. So we have decisions to make and things to do, and so we work as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you, do you have grandkids too?
I do. I have three grandsons and a granddaughter and three great grandchildren. And
Amazing.
my one grandson, Tyler Hurst, he lives in the farmhouse right here on the farm. He's
Hmm.
married and gave us our first great granddaughter. So
Wow.
Tyler and his wife Magali are both in sales now. They both are work. So Tyler's been in Kountry Kraft for ever since he out of high school.
Okay.
So he's 33 years old now, and he's a top salesperson, designer. So,
That's amazing.
and his wife also learned the business, and she's also in sales.
That's great. That's
So
great.
they live right next door here, so I get to see them regular, and they bring their little girl in here, little my great granddaughter, to play with the office girls, and so
Yeah.
it's a nice
Yeah.
family business.
That is a very, very, very great family business.
It,
Um, I'm not even gonna attempt. I normally give advice, but I'm not giving you any advice. So,
I'm open to
um,
it. Always open to.
I think you're doing just fine without any advice. So, um, but I do want to ask you a question. If you were to have, I don't know, like top five lessons, top five business lessons from somebody that's been in business for 65 years. What do you think those would be? The first one.
What the first lesson would be
Yeah.
to start a business?
No, to longevity and success in business.
Well, the first thing you have to go in business, you got to have vision and ambition.
Mm-hmm.
Vision and ambition.
Yep.
You got to be willing to take the hard times with the good times.
Yep.
To build a business, you got to be committed.
Yep. That's three. What else?
You you got to uh, you got to put your customers and employees first. You got to put yourself last. I tell my employees they're not working for me, they're working for the customer.
Yeah.
And give the customer just what they want, and they'll come back for more.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's one of the key principles to build a
Yep.
business. You got to appreciate your employees. You got to
Yep.
compliment them, make them feel part of the team, and
Yep.
you got to respect your customers, and be sure
Yeah.
you give them the product that you'd want in your own house.
Yep. Great. All right. One more.
One more,
Yeah.
I don't know really what else to add to that. What
um, what do you think is what do you think your legacy will be?
I think my legacy will be to give other people an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That I was given an opportunity by my parents, and I
Yeah.
gave that passed that opportunity on to my children and to our employees.
Yeah.
So I think the legacy will be that we were successful building a small business in a small town of Newmanstown that employed local people, gave them an opportunity, and I just think that's probably what people will remember me for.
Yep. Yep. All right. So I'll repeat back. Elvin Hurst's top five top five business lessons from being in business for 65 years are: have vision and ambition, be willing to take the hard times and continue building. You have to be committed. You have to put your customers and your employees first, yourself last, and then you always have to be willing to give others an opportunity. Is that
Amen.
right?
Yep, yep,
Amen.
yep, yep, yep.
um, that's
I
cool.
give I
Well,
give God the credit for everything I have. Everything I have is a blessing.
yeah, great. Cool. Is there any last bit of parting advice for the Woodpreneur community? I know you just gave a ton, and I'm super appreciative of your time.
I just think for the wood industry, it's the same of any industry. Is be sure you treat your customer and your employees fair.
Yeah,
Do good work.
yeah, great. All right. Well, Elvin, thank you so much for your time. Yeah, everybody check out Country Kraft on is it countrycraft.com, right? Countrycraft.com, and country with the K, both K, country and craft. And Instagram is Country Kraft Cabinetry. Um, but I really, really appreciate your time. I'm definitely honored to speak to you, and congratulations. 65 years is a great time. Is a very long time and very big impact. I mean, not only the I mean, can you estimate how many kitchens you've built since then?
Do we know how many kitchens we built? Do we have record?
Not an exact number, but it's probably around 100,000.
About a
A
hundred
hundred.
thousand, he thinks.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow, that's a lot. That's
yeah.
crazy. That's a
Like,
ton. That's a
yeah.
ton. Yeah, that's really really great. Well, thank you. Congratulations again, Elvin.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for what you're doing.
All right, I will.
It was
Thank you. All
nice
right,
talking to you.
nice talking to you too. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.